Hi LEGO fans, it is Steven Schleicher, and this week we're moving away from the DC and Marvel sets to go back into the LEGO City Collection. But we're not building a police station, we're not building a fire station, no, we are building an airport air show. Thanks to set 60103 from LEGO, it is the airport air show. 3 planes, a hangar, and a lot of minifigures. Let's put this together and let's talk about it on the other side. Here we have the airport air show at set 60103. It comes in a really big box, but you know, when you get all the pieces out, it's really not that big of a set. I think the reason why it's in such a big box is you do have a lot of pieces, as you saw in the build. Plus you have some rather large pieces like the roof on the hangar that may need to make the box a little bit bigger. Let's get into the figures and the pieces in this set, and then I'll talk to you about why I bought this set to begin with. Let's start with our minifigures. Of course, we have our ground crew. Here's a guy that drives a little truck. And here's the ground crew that signals the planes to come in. It's nice. The interesting thing about the way that LEGO has changed the helmets on these guys over the years is that now the headphones are part of the helmet. So it's a little weird when you take it off, but I like that. Update. Next we have the Jet Pilot. Here's Jet Pilot 1. And here is Jet Pilot 2. They look almost identical to one another, except for obviously one is wearing glasses and the other is female. Very nice. Finally, we come to our Barnstormer team. Here is the pilot. I love these classic goggle helmets that you would associate with the olden days. You also have your female stunt performer. You can have her with either hair or you can give her another helmet just like we saw on the Barnstormer pilot. I love the design on their uniforms. They look really great. So those are the minifigures. Let's look at the vehicles, starting with the ground crew. As I mentioned, you have someone who is refueling the planes. So you have this little refueling car, and your minifigure is expected to stand up in this vehicle. Along with that, you have a cart for tools, and you have a little workbench area for your coffee cup and some other tools that the mechanics might use to fix up the planes. Let's take a look at the jets next. I really enjoy these jets, and one thing that if you're just glancing briefly at the box, you might think that the jets are exactly alike, but they really aren't. Here is the first jet. It is the single tail jet. I love the jet intakes on this. The cockpit is really nice. This doesn't have any kind of special features to it, right? You're not going to have stud shooters or flick missiles or anything on these planes, but they are really nice that you can do some play of barrel rolls and flying them around the air. But if you're looking for some special action features on these jets, it's not going to be in this set. Let's take a look at the second jet, and you can tell it's the second jet because it's got 2 fins on the back. It's a little sleeker design. You can tell this one is a little bit more modern in how it is supposed to fly and what it can do. It's very similar in design to the first jet, but it does have its own unique look. The final plane in our airport air show is this modern take on a classic biplane. How do we know that this is a modern take? Well, first of all, if you look in the cockpit, you will notice that the dials and switches are there, which you typically wouldn't see in an older version that would rely on stick and eyesight. The other thing is it does have a canopy that goes over the pilot that fits inside. Other than that, I really love the look of a classic biplane in LEGO form. In fact, when I was a young kid, I used to build biplanes all the time out of my LEGO pieces and have them have fights and do all sorts of crazy things. This is a really nice design, and this plane by itself was the main reason I bought this entire set, because I thought, oh, look, we're getting a classic biplane, you know, an old barnstormer plane alongside these modern jets that you might see at an air show. Sadly, this isn't the old-timey version of the biplane, but you know what? You could take out the instrument panel and rip off the canopy, and you'd have something that's very close. There are a lot of stickers on this biplane. You have stickers on the tail section, you have stickers on the side of the plane, you even have stickers for where the engine air vents are, and also around the engine itself. The one thing you have to be very careful of when putting the stickers on this plane are the stickers that go on the propeller, because if you get those off just a little bit, man, your propeller looks like it's way off balance. You can't have an airport without a place to store your planes. In this case, the Barnstormer plane needs a hangar, and so we have a very simple hangar here. There's nothing special about this except that you have an entrance to move the plane in, and you have some supports on the side and a roof on the top. It's very, very plain, and really almost isn't worth mentioning at all in this set, except that it's included. So there you go. As I mentioned, when I first saw this biplane, I knew I had to have this set because it took me back to my childhood. And I think one of the nice things about Lego is they are timeless, and they can take you back to times when you're younger, and maybe if you're a younger person, when you get older, you'll remember the sets that you had as a kid, and you will look at new sets and say, oh, those remind me so much of what I played with years ago, and that may prompt you to build it. So the timeliness of this biplane in this set made me feel very nostalgic and want to pick this up. Finding out, again, you can't really see it on the box unless you're really paying attention. You don't know that this is a modern take on the plane, and I was a little disappointed in this. But here's the thing, and here's the reason why I'm kind of excited about this biplane and kind of hope that this set sells well, because I think an awesome set to get, or for Lego to get licensing rights to and release, and we may see this in the next couple of years, a Rocketeer set. Yes, that's right. Based on the Dave Stevens comic book from the 1980s, the Rocketeer tells the story of Cliff Secord, who is a pilot in the 1930s, just before World War II, and he finds a rocket pack that's been developed by, depending on who you, if you watch the movie or if you read the comic books, either Doc Savage or a Doc Savage lookalike, or Howard Hughes. Cliff straps on the rocket pack on his back, and he does become the Rocketeer, and he has all these adventures with sports planes, racing planes, and of course the classic biplane. And I would love to see, I mean, we've already got the classic helmets. All we need is a Rocketeer helmet and a rocket pack, and we could create easily a Rocketeer set. And I would bet with the new Rocketeer movie on the way, and with Disney's relationship with Lego, I'm going to bet we're going to see some Rocketeer sets in the future. But it's nice to dream, right? It's nice to go, oh, this reminds me of the Rocketeer. Wouldn't it be great if Lego would build a Rocketeer set? As I mentioned earlier, there are not a lot of play features. There's not flick missiles, there's not stud shooters, there's not things that blow up or flip out or do any of that kind of stuff. So if you're going to have fun with this set, it's going to be in your imagination, in flying these planes and maybe having them do barrel rolls or banging left and right or flying in formation or having someone do some stunts on top of the biplane. If that's good, if you're happy with that, then I think this will be a set you're happy with. If you're an airplane or a jet enthusiast, then this might be something you want to buy just so you have these jets sitting on your shelf. It's kind of like the race car sets, the high-end race car sets that we've looked at before, where some people who might just be a Porsche or a Lamborghini aficionado, they might want to buy those sets just for the cars. You may want to buy the sets just to display the airplanes and not have a play feature for them. So this is kind of a mixed bag set for me. The city sets I've always kind of had a love-hate relationship with. Sometimes you can find really great city sets, and sometimes you're going to find a lot of police station sets or fire station sets. This is one that doesn't fall into either category, so it may be something that you may want to pick up and add to your collection. It is set 60103. It's the Airport Air Show. I hope you've enjoyed this look at this week's Lego set. If you have any questions, you can use the comment section below, or you can tweet them to me at Major Spoilers online. Of course, visit our website, majorspoilers.com, to find out more about that Rocketeer movie coming soon. And if you would like to support us and make sure that we can continue to build these sets and share them with you week after week, consider becoming one of our Patreon members at patreon.com/majorspoilers. Until next time, take care, everyone.